While market turnover was high, mainly on the back of two crosses on the cross-board, including Mauritius Commercial Bank and New Mauritius Hotels, among others. The banking stocks traded flat, as well as the insurance sector. Well, I'm joined for an analysis by Pierre-Yves Pascal from Confident Asset Management. Pierre, thank you so much for making the time to join us. As we mentioned there in the introduction, we saw a flat performance coming through from the banks, but high turnover. What have been some of the key drivers or key themes that you've seen today and throughout the course of the week?
Well, firstly, today there was a major turnover, but this was mainly two global companies, global funds, so they can't be considered part of a normal market cap. But the turnover for the week has been average, total turnover of $5 million. But the main movement for the week was New Mauritius Hotels, which was up like 7%. Lots of foreign buyers on the stock. It's been like that for a few weeks. The hotel segment is now up in 2013 by like 40 to 45%, and mainly due to some positive news, mainly in terms of forward bookings for the end of the year and ongoing projects. Like for New Mauritius Hotels, they have a hotel project in Morocco where the situation was difficult before, but now it's doing better. So investors are bullish on the stock.
Talking about positive news, let's talk about those tourism numbers that have come out. Looking at the data for September 2013, we're seeing an increase of about 8.4% compared to that same time in 2012. Particular interest coming through from China, 120% up. What has contributed to that?
Yes, firstly, they introduced in January this year 2 direct flights to Shanghai. And recently in July, they added another direct flight. And if you consider all the flights to Hong Kong and Shanghai, you have 9 weekly flights. So the visitors from China double in over a year, but they still represent a small proportion of the total tourist arrivals, about 4 to 5%. But it's positive news. It's very good because in the last few years, after the crisis, hotel operators have been trying to diversify from the traditional European market, where arrivals have been down, especially also in terms of spending power. So Chinese like to travel. For example, they like going to the Maldives, where they represent about 40% of our arrivals. So that's good news because companies such as Lux Island Resorts have been working hard to bring these people, and also Air Mauritius with its direct flights. And but they still represent about 5 to 6%. Europe represents 50% of the arrivals. In terms of Europe arrivals, still down for France and Italy, but some positive news for Germany and the UK, where arrivals for the month of September was up like 14 to 15%.
So definitely China being a key growth area there. Let's talk about the inflation numbers that came in for September, coming in at 3.3%. This is from about 3.1%. So we're seeing a tick up. What contributed to that slight upward movement there?
Well, it was mainly food products and some consumer discretionary items. But overall, we were expecting that increase. For the year 2013, inflation is expected to be around 3.4, 3.3%. But for the month, it was mainly food products.
Let's talk about your forecast for what you're seeing going into 2014. Are you willing to say what we can see the inflation print sitting at?
Well, it all depends on our currency, the Mauritian rupee. This is the big question. Hopefully, inflation should stay, hopefully, in the region below 4, but time will tell. It's difficult to say. It's very difficult.
So a guessing game is what we faced with. I want to focus our attention to a deal that I think you have been familiar with, Enel Land, moving or transferring some of their assets there to Essentia. What has been the latest with regards to that deal? Because I do understand there'll be a shareholder meeting where we're still waiting for this deal to come through or be approved.
Exactly. Enel is firstly one of the largest property land owner in Mauritius. They recently developed, in partnership with Atterbury, a commercial center in Mauritius known as Mall of Mauritius in Bagatelle. And their share in Bagatelle is being moved to a property fund called Ascensia, whose portfolio contains mainly commercial centers. So the plan of Enel Land is to develop leasing companies, or like commercial centers, and then transfer them to the Ascensia. Both companies, Enel Land and Ascensia, are in the Enel group, Enel group, which is one of the largest group in Mauritius. So, but it needs to be approved by the shareholders. Today, this morning, there was a meeting for Ascensia, and the big meeting is on next Tuesday, with Rogers, who is, and Ascensia is a subsidiary of Rogers.